If we keep thinking about something that we want, we are actually pushing it away. Because every time we think about it, we are noticing that it's not in our life. And law of attraction gives you what you notice. So there's asking going on at the same time as noticing the absence of what you want. And a result of pulling in two different directions is that you go nowhere. And that's, I believe, what happens to a lot of people. They gravitate towards law of attraction thinking it is the solution, which it is, but then they find that it's not working. And they know that it's not working because they keep asking, but they don't know how to stop asking. You cannot stop asking unless you look at something else. You engage your thought process with something else. That is the only way you can stop asking. And this is why I always say stop thinking about your life and think about something that has nothing to do with your life. Because the problem is not that you cannot get off the subject. The problem is you cannot stop thinking. We can't shut our brains down. It's like asking your heart to stop pumping blood. So our mind is going to work all the time, but we can decide what it should work on. The problem is that decision, people are weak in making that decision. They are not disciplined enough in making that decision. You have to find a strategy that works for you. For some people, the strategy that works is just watching a comedy program. For some people, the strategy that works is going for a walk. For some people, the strategy that works is playing with their dog or their cat. For some people, they have to climb a mountain. It just depends on the person. It's not the same for everyone. So the first decision you have to make is I'm going to stop thinking about my life and I'm going to find something else to think about. There are thousands of subjects literally for us to focus on. We can read a good book, watch TV, as long as you can just get off the subject of your life. That's what's required. And this is a new way of thinking that we are not taught by our parents, by society, by school. We are not taught this way of thinking because everyone at school has taught you that if you want to solve a problem, you should think about it. But that's not how the law of attraction works. If you want to solve a problem, think about it only applies when you have already learned how to solve it. But the problems that we want to use law of attraction in order to solve, we don't have the strategies. We don't know how to solve them. Let me give you an example. If you're doing calculus, your teacher, your textbook, video lessons have all taught you how to do a specific operation in order to solve a calculus problem. So you've had some practice, you've seen some examples, you've done some of it before you actually come to the exam. But in the case of a relationship, for example, where you want your relationship to come back together with someone, then in that case, you haven't seen enough examples. You have not tried to do it before. You don't have strategies that you can apply right away. And so your mind keeps trying to solve the problem without actually having the information that it needs to solve the problem. Now, if you really start understanding law of attraction, you do have the information to solve the problem. And all you need to do in law of attraction, there's just one strategy, and that is go up the emotional scale. Do whatever you can to go up the emotional scale, and if you go up the emotional scale, the universe will find a way. Now, this happens a lot when I'm helping people who reach out to me, is that they'll come to me and they say, well, Zara, I was doing all the work and I was feeling really good. And when I feel good, can I think about this problem? Can I think about her? Can I think about him? Can I think about the person because I am feeling good? And the answer is, if you were really right at the top of the emotional scale, you wouldn't think about thinking about that person. So the fact that you are asking the question tells me something about where you are on the emotional scale. Doubt, if there's any doubt at all in your heart or your mind, then you are not high on the emotional scale, because you cannot get high on the emotional scale if you're feeling doubt. In the end, what I want to say is, if you truly understand what's good for you, you will take the action that needs to be taken. So if you truly understand that you're thinking about that thing that you want very, very dearly is actually pushing it away, then you would stop yourself from going there. And the very words that Sridhar has used, saying that something you want very, very dearly, are indicative of the fact that he is very far on the emotional scale from what he wants. And so when you are high on the emotional scale, one of the things that switches around is that nothing seems like it's that important. Not to say that your desires are not important, but you feel so confident that they're going to happen that it doesn't feel like you have to spend all your energy on it. You're relaxed about it. You feel good about it. At the top of the emotional scale, the way you feel is you don't have any holes in your heart or your mind. There's no hole that needs to be filled. You are enjoying life. So the next thing that comes brings you more enjoyment, and the next thing that comes brings you more enjoyment, and this thing that you really want will come and it will give you the enjoyment that you want, but you're not sitting there pining for it. You're not sitting there crying because you don't have it. You are enjoying life and letting life unfold naturally, and you have faith and belief, and you trust that all things that you want will flow easily into your life.